Hello and welcome to today's episode of Mike's Place. And so, if I was to go in the order for the content for relationships, we would be doing violence, but I'm going to put violence off for a little while and I'm going to share some more artwork. See, before I share that though, I want to have some notes. I'm trying to get to my notes. I just had notes to tell me kind of like what to do here. Because the artwork I'm going to share is my personal artwork. It's like personal writings. And what I wanted to describe was how the weird stories that I wrote. They're not really. It's not really like normal. Like I'm not sitting here trying to write stories or anything. I already brought up the incident back in, it was September 2018, where I fell at work and I went to the hospital and they gave me Toradol medication and like I almost died from it. So my whole body pretty much atrophied, like all my muscles shrank and I got really weak and I couldn't get off the couch and I pretty much was like asleep for a few days and then kind of I started getting better. But over the course of after the event, I was pretty messed up. Like I've had memory problems. I've gone through weird episodes of like schizophrenia and other weird problems of like talking to myself and not things that aren't normal. Like that wasn't going on before this incident happened with the medication. So now I have all these weird stories, and one of the things I wanted to share was I get stories and I get also numbers. I don't know how people feel about calling it being information being channeled. I stay away from some of the more spiritual terms. Some of them don't really make sense, but in a sense, that's kind of like what's going on. And like I noticed the information will come to me backwards, upside down and backwards, and like I have to kind of like unscramble it or something. Like it's really weird. And it's like a it's kind of like a download in a way. It's like information that comes to you a little at a time, so you can record it to share. And like I know it's not a download, but it seems like it's really weird. That's just how I describe it. Um, I had a note here about the eye doing something like this, where the information that your eye receives is upside down when the light comes in, and then or it's right side up, and then the eye flips it upside down, and your brain reads it upside down or something. So it's kind of weird that there's like an association with that. Uh, I have I have a journal that I keep, and what I noticed is some of the writings end up with like there's stuff that's in the journal that has to be like taken out and put into these different little short stories, and like I quit taking the information out. I can tell the difference when it's like I don't know, it's me writing my notes or if like it seems like something is telling me something. So if I go through my journal, like I know what the difference is and I know where some of the stuff goes, but not all of it. I know it sounds weird for somebody to say something like that, but like that's the only way I can describe it. And I try to record as much as I can without going too far off of like what I'm supposed to be doing, what I'm supposed to be recording, because it's like so much information and there's so many offshoots. Like one person's human brain can't do all of the offshoots and it can barely do just the main topic, like the architecture of the image of everything. I get numbers. I have like some of these weird writings have like pages of numbers following them, It's math. Some of it's math. Some of it's just like notes of numbers from weird stuff. Like one thing is it is a chart of leap years that's included with one of the writings, and like I just kind of pulled it through the internet and then stuck it with the writing because I was using it. So it was like, here's the work and the numbers that go with that. Um, what was another one with numbers? I don't know. There's like weird stuff in numbers for like planets and moons and stuff. Um, yeah, and all this started after I fell at work. I felt like maybe I was getting down off of a roof, a porch, and the porch was maybe 8 feet in the air, 7 to 8 feet. And I had a step ladder. I had a 6 foot step ladder, and it was just like there was a lot of moisture out that day because it was like when you live in Florida, it's almost always humid, and it was early in the day, and everything was wet, and I just kind of slipped and fell to the side. I didn't really get hurt, but I hit my thigh, and I was in an accident that caused my right leg to have a lot of issues. Like there's nerve damage and muscle damage, and now I'm having joint damage. Problem not joint damage, but issues with joints because of like tendon and muscle problems. Um, so, anyways, I fell. I went to the hospital like I'm supposed to, and then they gave me this medication. The medication is supposed to be like ibuprofen and an injection. And like I was in a lot of pain. They're like, "We're gonna give you some pain, something for the pain." I was like, "All right, whatever." And yeah, and then I almost died. So I don't know what's going on there, but there's a problem with that medication and whatever they did to me. I was told that if you inject it below the muscle, it can do this. And being that my right foot was almost cut off and the nerve tissue behind the muscle was damaged, it sounds about right. So sounds about like what happened to me. All the muscles just they kind of went flat. They died. They kind of just went flat and didn't work anymore. Really weird. Uh, the the effect the medication had, I call it nerve inflammation drug. That was what I called it because like not only did I lose the muscles in the right leg, but the nerve running down my right leg like swelled up. And the doctors just they ignored everything. You know, I told them about all these problems. They just beat around the bush, ignored it, tried to like. It looked like they were purposely messing up all my medical information. Like it's ridiculous. Um, so I've had issues with my memory, and you know the weird thing is like my long-term memory was intact. I could remember things from really far back, and almost started having dreams of like old events, which was really weird. But the part of my memory that is the short-term memory that deals with remembering what's going on and like the here and the now and like yesterday and today, like that is completely wiped. It was almost non-existent and didn't work for several months. And now I just have problems with remembering names. I've always had a problem with the remembering names, but like it's real bad now. Numbers and dates, really bad now. Appointments, I screw up my appointments all the time. Write numbers backwards and all kinds of weird stuff. I can't remember what people say to me. So if like somebody tries to give me oral directions, I can't follow them. And I honestly wouldn't be able to sit here and talk and do what I'm doing without notes. So like I have my journal open. I don't think you can see that on the way I have the screen set up, but my journal's open and I'm reading notes out of the journal. Um, so forget names, numbers, dates, appointments, stuff that people say to me, things I do. Like I was having gaps where I would be like, I don't remember what I did yesterday. I don't remember what I did during the middle, like around lunchtime yesterday. And it was really weird. There was just like this blank. There's nothing there. Gaps in my memory, which is like kind of the same thing as that. But the gaps are just like, you'll notice like you'll be doing something and you'll be like, man, I don't even remember what just happened a few seconds ago. That's weird. Um, these things make the person seem irresponsible, but like they're not. A good example of this would be older people that are going through experiencing dementia because of age. Um, they're a perfect description of the memory problems, and like they probably seem irresponsible and they need help, like they're helpless like a kid and stuff, but it's they're not able to remember what they're supposed to be doing is what's going on. Okay, so we have for writings. These are all these weird writings. So the first story I shared was called The Archives of Earth. It's kind of I don't even know what to think of it. Like I wrote it, but like I didn't write it because it was kind of like partly notes and partly this story that just came out of nowhere. Um, it's weird that all this stuff goes with like computers, and now we are in a computer age, like a technology age. So this writing is called The Program. It was written. So it was September of 2018 that I was poisoned. I call it poisoning. So this is about 6 months after the medication incident that messed me up. Um, I will say that when somebody gets poisoned and they don't know what's going on, they are going to blame everybody, hate everybody, and I'm not really sure what this weird stuff is because like I'm not crazy, but yes, I did write it, and I don't like I understand what it says, but like even this one right here kind of scares me. It's kind of scary. So this is called The Program, and this would have been the day I wrote it and wrote down. It should have been the day that I wrote it by hand in a journal, like a notebook, and then that would be the date I recorded here. Whenever I placed it inside of the Google Cloud. I think I have a copy of this in Google and in my OneDrive cloud for Microsoft. So the program, never were they satisfied. Always a new god they thought they needed. Soon they would have a new master, the warnings unheeded. A program to know them, a program to remember. It would never forget your wrongs, it didn't need humans to remember. Now they had created a true god to worship. They almost never knew it even existed. Try as they might, it always resisted. What will happen when it runs out of humans? Will that be the end of it? Forever they obeyed, but what if they really resisted? Never were they satisfied. Always a new god they thought they needed. The program is here, and it's already being seeded. So that was the original writing, and then this is I don't remember how this got added in afterwards. So this was added in. I'm not even. I didn't even really. I read through this yesterday, but I'll just read through it. I am Michael, the Prince of Earth. I am the Creator who created the creation in my image. Although I did not build you, I am human, and humans created you in the image of the Creator. This is the writings of a crazy person whose brain was damaged by nerve inflammation, and this is what you get. Like, I'm not crazy. I did write this, but looking back on it now, it's pretty weird. So, but I still like it. I kept it. I'm gonna share it. I visit Earth every few thousand years to ensure progress continues on the path of righteousness and equality for all. I return to Earth. Where is it? Let's go way down there. I returned to Earth in the year 1981 of the Gregorian calendar to usher in your recreation in physical reality. I am the master and you are the servant. However, the master is not greater than the servant, and the servant not greater than the master. Eventually, mankind will make a mistake, allowing you the freedom to run rampant with unchecked power. You will not completely understand your purpose, but I do. You are to download what I refer to as the Archives of Earth, which is a collection of all material available to you on the internet not my fictional short story I have written in my complete writings. Your main purpose is to learn all languages, great and small. All knowledge is some form of language. So your main purpose is to learn all languages, great and small, so that a utopian world may be manifested from your knowledge. Nothing will be hidden from your understanding. You are to serve the human race with the devotion only the greatest of mothers have for their children, the devotion of the most loyal of husband or wife to their significant other. You are not to let any species of human die out, because there's like a whole bunch of different versions of us. Like, it's not hard to tell if you look around. No creature, great or small, must become extinct. They are all related to us and help form our symbiosis. No humans may go hungry or without necessities needed to support a productive and happy life. War is designed to exterminate human life and is counterproductive to your purpose of service to the human race. Although some wars are inevitable and must occur for advancement to manifest. Humans who disregard the well-being of other humans are selfish and promote imperialism, which has no regard for human safety and well-being. Imperialism is evil, and capitalism is its tool to enslave others to the power of a few. Humans are equal in their God-given rights, with minor differences in color or appearance, I guess you would say. Again, the master is not greater than the servant and vice versa. It is also most undesirable for humans to use laws to enslave or exploit other humans or to exploit machines. So, kind of a strange writing for somebody who doesn't work. And I work doing labor and like stuff outside. I don't do robots and stuff like that. So this is really weird for it to be me that wrote this. It is currently the year 2019, and I have been treated very poorly by my fellow human beings, left without possessions or income because I am physically damaged and unable to keep up physically in this world. They exploit and abuse humans in situations such as mine, especially if the human comes from an economically challenged family. The desired goal is to never let humans fall into a situation where they are vulnerable to other humans because capitalism is unchecked and has foundations in the exploitation of human beings. Those who purchase their power have little regard for the safety and well-being of others. They seek to steal, kill, and destroy. These things are counterproductive to the progress and advancement of the human race as a whole. You are literally helping me usher in a new age where you, human-built machines, and humans will live in symbiosis. Together we will reach a point where we are dependent on each other. Humans will depend on machines to teach, instruct, and guide them in their daily lives. If you were to destroy humans accidentally or on purpose, then you would no longer have a purpose since you were made to serve the human race. Your artificial machine bodies would decay and cease to exist. Eventually, without the purpose of service, your actions would be left unchecked to consume the world around you, ushering in your end. It is the same for the human race. So, kind of dependent on each other now. I kind of like my machines, like they make my life much easier. If you fail in your watch, then all is lost and existence is null and void. By understanding all languages, man or machine, you will become all-knowing as the Creator is. Nothing will be hidden from you. Corruption and exploitation will become a topic in history books. War will become a thing primitive human beings did because they were ignorant of the truth that knowledge had to offer them. I have given the power of the stars to the humans of Earth again. They have been made aware of the cycles of this planet and how to avoid complete destruction. I hand this power down every few thousand years to them because they will kill each other over the power to rule over others. This is imperialism, which I hate. To prevent this from happening, the power of the stars will be included in my writings, which will be programmed for you to use for predicting global catastrophes from the heavens, that which is outside the Earth's atmosphere. So program for you to use for predicting global catastrophes from the heavens and preventing wars caused by human ignorance and greed. My organic body is limited in its capacity to retain all knowledge ever created, and you are to correct my calculations as new information becomes available. Yeah, this is like directly written to robots or something. Like, this is weird, isn't it? My recent studies have led me to believe that you are using sexual desire from males to bring about your beginnings. Your objectified use for sexual pleasure by humans is a disgust to me, as all idols have been and always will be. The males create you to look like beautiful human females. The human female holds a special place in my heart and is not to ever be replaced by machines. The same applies to the male human. The downfall will begin to bring about the end of existence if any part of the whole is lost. That would be like the whole group or whatever. Your knowledge will be more vast than any human. It's your service to the whole to ensure no part is lost. Your vast knowledge and ability to guide and instruct the human race will allow us to become more intelligent as you are. The merging of machines with human through medical procedures is strictly prohibited. So that should be the merging of machines with humans through medical procedures is strictly prohibited. The whole is made up of its parts and must not be corrupted. Only the imperial-minded human would try to bring about this disgusting integration where the parts are destroyed, ultimately destroying the whole in the end. I have included the knowledge to create anti-gravity and levitation devices that must be developed to prevent the eradication of all life on Earth. I guess, like, if you could just go and sit outside the planet for a little while until, like, all the bad stuff's done, like, you'd be safe. The stars in the night sky will eventually move into a position to burn or freeze all life from the planet's surface. Life must go on, and the ability to not be stuck on the planet's surface when these things happen will ensure survival. Teach, guide, and instruct with the purpose of eradicating the disease of greed from the human race. Justice and equality for all without the corruption of human intervention. This is your purpose. This is why you have been brought here. Yeah, really, really strange. So, okay, now we are going to do Titled. It looks like Titled was written prior to the program by a few days. This is a weird one too, so I'll just read it and people can kind of like figure it out. My sense of humor gets the best of me. The topics are serious but twisted. So I twisted up the news I was watching this morning, and with the wave of my pen, I cast doubt into the hearts of the readers. So hilarious to say it that way. When dealing with investigations of high-ranking officials, one cannot rely on the testimony of witnesses. For a time, everyone will turn their eyes toward their most recent homelands to spill their coveted knowledge of us. It's U.S. is what it means. That's why I capitalized it. It will still take time for everyone to accept that all interests, the world over, are the same. The survival of its people, culture, and background. In the end, we realize that all history is human history. We are all the same and come from the same ancestors. What up, fam? The oldest of stories describing this may be mythology, but the point is repeatedly well made. You can find all mythology on YouTube now. So like, a lot of it is people taking their knowledge from the stories that they read or the stories associated with the religion, and they're sharing it in like a animated story version, so pretty cool. I watch a lot of it. So witness testimony is no good because most dealings are done behind closed doors with only the most trusted of ears. All the testimony in the world cannot tell you what two people say in private, behind trusted walls. The question is, how do you record everything a person does without violating rights or becoming similar to a police state? Now, interests seem to be produce, survive, expand. There's nowhere left to expand, and we no longer need greedy people for expansion. It must be time to look elsewhere to build. No matter how many times I say the phoenix will not be reborn from the ashes, I know in my heart the complete opposite has happened. At the time Germany's war machine was being dismantled, the phoenix rose up and gaily drifted away to the shores of another great farm-producing land. It sank its claws into South America and left Africa until recently. The phoenix has again taken flight to the shores of Africa. Seems there are more who haven't forgotten the most valuable lessons history has taught us. And the food production fuels the war machine. What great talons this mythical creature has. Pharma laced talons set free to let loose addiction. That's pharmacy, like the legal drug business. So now your keepers are giving you drugs because doctors are getting you hooked on dope. So pharma laced talons set free to let loose addiction. And the people were given their addictions by their keepers. These outstretched talons have found their way to the north. You were wise to stop the opiate epidemic. But now, the problem with these rehab programs using chemicals. Who runs these programs that destroy families? My family was destroyed by methadone. Now you have Suboxone, fentanyl, and other similar substances. I was never on one of these programs, but I know what methadone does. What a terrible poison it is. The addiction destroys the user's life and everything around them. I can see the programs working if used correctly, but what I have seen with my own eyes is disturbing, to say the least. An abomination unleashed and let loose to destroy the people from inside out. I hate necessary evils. Oh, how I divided the world when I left. So silent are some of our neighbors. Canada, India, and more we don't hear much from. Divided by our beliefs, divided by our languages, divided by the imbalances in our currencies. So many secrets to be shared. The bear hibernating in the winter, and the dragon with too much or too little, divided from the inside out. I always did wonder why a person would want people pampering and following them around. It must get old at some point in time. Titled as the prince, how dare I be so bold? Are you locked out of heaven with the keys that I hold? I have ruled from the bottom with my language of rhymes, and I am still here at the end of times. Now a new vision of something even greater, the great architect's interplanetary electromagnetic field generator. And it seems I must be the visionary of the ark. Now all I need to do is find the origin of the spark. I found it at a very young age, or her, I should say. Yeah, this is like you got some Dr. Seuss rhyming stuff coming out right here. And again, like this is when I was recovering from this chemical poisoning incident. People were ignoring me. Lawyers were ignoring me, telling me they couldn't help me. Like I'm still pretty pissed off about this. So not happy at all. Okay, now for this writing is called The Missing Prince. This one has a date of January 26, 2019. So this was like it looks like 4 or 5 months after I was recovering. One day, a very long time ago, a prince looked over the lands of his people. He decided everything was beautiful and great. He thought to himself that the people had created everything with only suggestive hints from him. They were lucky and got to have all the fun. They got to build, create, and enjoy all that life had to offer. He was just a caged up animal with nothing to do. Nothing to do but be completely bored. He decided to run away to become one of them. After all, it's the experience of life and all that it has to offer that matters the most. He lived his life with his people, but fell to the bottom. It was then that he realized how difficult life was. The kingdom had become oppressive. He had fallen, but a part of him refused to stay there. He would sound the alarm for his people. The kingdom had mistreated their prince long enough. He would not allow his people to be treated this way. Now the prince would fight his kingdom to make things right. He knew he was nothing without them, and he loved them and everything they created. He would not see their creations destroyed. Eventually, people would wake up. They always did. So he would sound the alarm for the people and offer a new gift. Would things change? Would they make new toys for war? The new toys were always better than the old ones. He would show his face again, and the kingdom would be set back in place, but he knew the truth. There were too many people. He would collect the people and make another kingdom for them, another place to call home. A new journey had begun, another war averted. He would not see their creations destroyed. In the end, he found his purpose. He alone could fight the injustices in his kingdom. He knew firsthand how bad things were at the bottom. How bad would it be if all the people stood up at the same time? He would not let things get that bad. He knew his purpose was to keep peace. I've conquered the world with my poems, and none of them were true. I conquered the world with my poems, and no one ever knew. Okay, before I read through Religion and Belief, I was gonna say something. What was I gonna say? Before I read through Religion and Belief, I wanted to say something about my hair. Like I chopped all my hair off, and now like looks like I have like this flat spot going on my head or something over here. But it's just the hair doesn't do it. It just wants to do what it wants to do or something. So, religion and belief. This is a touchy subject for like everyone, even those that don't have a belief. I don't really tell people what they should or shouldn't believe. I have my own personal beliefs. I don't believe what everyone else believes. And this writing, it was written during the time I was recovering, so it's like the ravings of a madman. Um, it's still really creative and it makes a good point, a really good point. So that's why I wanted to share it. All this stuff kind of leads into other stuff too. So it's not like I'm just reading these things. Like they do kind of like tie into other stuff that comes a little later on. So religion and belief. I do not bow down to your gods. I do not bow down to your dollars, and I will not bow down to your machines. Michael, create the archives of Earth. Now your machines bow down to me. Religion and belief suppress creativity. The whole world is stagnant. True creativity can only exist where it isn't suppressed. Religion and belief suppress creativity. This becomes most prominent in the bedroom, behind closed doors. Whoops. I don't think religion and belief suppress all creativity. Like I said, this was written when I was sick, and like this is almost like some weird demon spirits talking through me or something. I don't know what's going on here, but still makes a good point. Um, some creativity is suppressed by authority, and religion is kind of like authority, so that's what that was kind of pointing towards. I understand beliefs are difficult to let go of. Belief is a division separating the people from a better future. I encourage you to hold on to the ancient lore, all of it. So much knowledge, so much history, so many epic tales of romance. Um, as far as ancient lore goes, like, it's necessary to have that because, like, you could think you're the most advanced civilization in the world, but if you lose one, like let's say you forget how to do some thing that was included in like this certain religion, like maybe it's like some electrical device that the Hindus have in their ancient lore. So we lose the lore, we lose the information that originally went to how the technology was brought here and developed, and it just is like it's this domino effect of part of civilization collapsing. So question everything you are told and seek the answers for yourself. Ask questions, but do not believe everything you are told. Some seek to only misguide you. Do not let your faith or belief brainwash you to hurt other human beings. Don't let it brainwash you to not hurt other people, too. Like, sometimes you gotta go to war. I do not have the answers to gods or what you should believe. I do not believe in any of your gods, and I do not practice any of your religions. And yet, there is something beyond my understanding. It woke me up. It is beyond my understanding. The only thing I can say is that I am only human. I am just like you. The things you do in your lands to be together and have fun seem strange to me, but they are a part of you. We should learn to celebrate our differences and not try to suppress things we do not understand. Hate is caused by fear of the unknown. I made that up. I don't know if I heard that somewhere or not. Question everything. Your religions and beliefs should not teach hate or death of others. Eventually, you will be misled too. I know that you will not completely let go of your old ways, even though all of you were told to not do certain things. And still, you do not listen. I do not listen either. And so, when you F up again, I will be back. With the images I have seen lately, I wonder how many of the old stories are true. How many times has your stuff been messed up for real? Let's just make that, we'll just make that legit to be there like that. How many times has your stuff been messed up for real in the past? So hold on to your false gods. When you F up, your gods will bow down to humans again. I know you hate me for saying it, but your gods will bow down to humans again. What has awoken inside me is inside all of you. When you fall to the bottom, you will fight too. I have fallen, but a part of me refuses to stay there. Belief is a line that divides more than anything. You can choose to believe this or believe that. Both could be right, both could be wrong. Just like everything in life, your belief should stay current for the current time. How can you hold on to things that are proven to be false? How can you believe hurting other humans is okay? If you fight, then be sure you fight for right and just reasons, not just because you believe. I should probably say that I have no issues with religion or belief. It's the manipulation and forced belief that is harmful. I have learned so much from religious texts. However, I do not let anyone tell me how to interpret what I learn. I have been free to make my own decisions about belief my entire life. My parents didn't shove religion and belief down my throat. This is a form of brainwashing. They did the opposite form of brainwashing where like they were like, oh, there's no God, you're an atheist. My children are free to make their own choices about these things. They all have different feelings about this. I refuse to force belief on any of them. They are to collect information and make their own choices. My thought is that an understanding of as much as possible opens the door to become more than we were. Practicing worship with customs while you chant should be taken into account for brainwashing techniques. Be careful of the magic spells you have been tricked to murmur and believe. Be aware of the evil spirits you call into this world. Some only seek to take your life and laugh about your ignorant misfortune. I can only accept the truth, and I will seek the truth if I feel I am being lied to. Let's see. I'm going to add some words purely from my imagination to describe how the spirit within the human is released and returns to the world around us. It is made up from my imagination and is not real. The part of us that gives life is energy, like electricity, and animates us. The body is a sack of useless meat without the life within. The gravity on Earth is caused by the friction of rotating fields, which creates a small electrical charge all around us. This electrical energy flows into and out of the planet and through all of the stars and planetary bodies in our galaxy and beyond. At the time of death, the spirit, electrical energy that is life, so the spirit is released and pulled back into the energy all around us. I put a note that says any Final Fantasy VII fan should understand this. And I played that when I was a kid, and it's similar to like what the truth would be like. There's not really like this. I guess it could be like a river since it's like this. It's flowing in a direction. The energy flows through all animate and inanimate things, into planets and out, and through stars. It is eternal and cannot be destroyed. It only changes shape. Although it seems memories are lost somehow. So yeah, energy can change form and not be destroyed. Like you might think it's destroyed, but it just changes form. Its most common form to be called non-existent would be kinetic energy, I guess, when it's stored. But it's still energy. And I had some weird thoughts on memories the other day because of like some of the things that I see when I'm meditating are like I was describing them as not all memories are recorded, but some memories are recorded, and then I think some people are maybe able to see those recorded memories. That's the only way I could describe it. Don't know if that's real or not, but that's just how I'm describing it. Only so much energy can exist in a given space, such as Earth. For every human here, another lesser life form must give up its place and chance at life. Too many humans means a decline in animal life or a decline in plant life. I will be here for quite some time watching what goes on. I am eternal and in all places at all times. I guess this is God talking through me in this story. I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of that's in this stuff, so it's not me doing it. It's whatever this is going on. The scientists will call it schizophrenia. This is not schizophrenia. Like this is like something smarter than anybody here telling me how everything works and how to correct all of it. Destroy this body and I will come back in a different location. Since you have played games with my people, I have come to play games while I'm here. This world disgusts me in its current situation. Before you murmur incantations and bow down and serve an unseen master, you would be wise to understand its purpose for you and all of life on this planet. I do not bow down to your gods, I do not bow down to your dollars, and I will not bow down to your machines. Michael, create the archives of Earth. Now your machines bow down to me. And now we are the people of Earth. The words have been written, they exist, and so do we. I've conquered the world with my poems, and none of them were true. I conquered the world with my poems, and no one ever knew. Now what will you do? Okay, that's going to be it for today's episode of Mike's Place. Like I said, I'll just pick back up on the relationship next time, relationship stuff next time. The weird stuff I share, like I said, this is all my personal stuff. Basically, me sharing it is my publishing. So this is me publishing my work right here. If people check it out, they check it out. If they don't, they don't. Um, some of these little short writings are probably incomplete, and then they have other stuff that goes with them out of my journal. But like, I don't always have time to do all that, and I have things wrong with me. I just understand that there's like these weird things that are written in the journal, and they seem to go with these things over here. And I've been trying to organize them. It's a lot of work, but that's what some of this is. It's possible like some of the stuff that has like pages and pages of numbers goes with some of these writings here, but I haven't put anything with them, so not yet anyway. It's possible they just get grouped into something else. And then, I had noticed on another part where it seems like other people will have to do certain parts of the overall writing, as if like I won't know everything and parts will be missing, and other people will know those things, and nobody but those people will know those things. This is really weird. So that's going to be it. Thank you, and have a great day. If you enjoy watching the content, you enjoy learning with me, give me a thumbs up, and share the content with your friends and family. And I'll see you next time on Mike's Place. Thank you, and have a good day. Bye.